There's just so much happening in today's world. So how do we get ourselves and keep ourselves grounded so that no matter what's happening around us, we are actually showing up in our lives as certain, in an alignment, and we are congruent. But if you look at when we're brought into this world with all these incredible traits, loving, compassionate, empathy, passion, joyous, caring. And so what happens to us is that when we start to grow up, we start to learn behaviors, and we start to adapt thinking that we hear from other people or we see, and our mind interprets that. Our paradigms, the glasses that we wear. And those glasses that we wear, how we look out at the world, then directly affects our attitude. That directly affects our behavior. Then that directly affects how we're responding to what's happening. And so what I'm going to invite everyone to start to do is just to start to use some practices that will support you in getting yourself back in tune with those core values that you were brought into this world with, is really working with the pictures that we're putting in our mind. Because the pictures we put in our mind is actually telling a part of our mind that this is the way that it is, which then our body responds to those pictures. So if I tell myself I'm stressed out, and if it's true that what we're saying in our mind, we are responding to. So just think about that. If I'm telling myself I'm stressed out, of course, guess how I'm going to show up in the world? I'm going to show up as stressed out. So what if I started to, okay, wait a second, let's do a little research on myself here. What am I really saying to myself? So what if every day you actually started the day off with visualizing? So the technique that we use in the basic seminar, there's two specific ones. The first one is the relaxation cycle. So that first one is where you actually take 15 to 18 minutes of your day and just allow yourself to be still. So a tool, a technique, another one, the 3 ways to listen. So the 3 ways to listen, I've got to actually sit still and turn off my mind. So I've got to turn off all the thinking about what I got to do tomorrow, thinking about what I didn't do today, what I didn't do yesterday. I've got to turn all that off. So our mind is just going. So I've got to still that mind of mine and allow myself to connect with me. But when you really start to practice turning off all that internal dialogue and allowing yourself to just be still and start to notice your breathing, and to actually start from the top of your head and start to move from the top of your head and start to breathe slowly and evenly, to start to breathe and start to move down through your body and start to notice where you're holding all your tension. Our emotions, because we don't want to deal with them or I'm too busy, I'm going to tuck it away. Unfortunately, what we do is we tuck it away someplace in our body. And so by allowing yourself to just sit still and feel what you're feeling, and if you get to a knot in your shoulder or a tightness in your chest or a tightness in your stomach area, that you actually just allow yourself to breathe through it. I'm not going to say that it's immediately going to go away, but I'm definitely going to suggest that it definitely will support you in moving through it. And that will support you in really being with, which is really the 3rd way of listening, being here now, being with. So that practice of being still, internally still, supports you in being more present in your life and congruent in your life.